Nahi appam, I tasted the chattambade, I tasted the goli bhaji. What do you want?
The same platter you ate.
Same platter that I ate.
Yeah.
I am the one supposed to be reviewing the food. So now you know why he keeps quiet when he's shooting me. Well, we are shooting here at Hotel Woodlands. And we are capturing the making of the iconic goli bhaji. You know, I love shooting in kitchens. It's nice to see that food come alive. There's so much of effort that goes into it. We don't realize it when we are eating it. But Hinde Bandhu, when you speak to him, he's been making the goli bhaji for the last 25 years. It's a tiny little hole in the wall, quite literally speaking. But just the energy, the vibe of this place. This is what I really love when we are on the road, shooting gourmet on the road. Just to come across, stumble upon places like these. Small, tiny establishment like this is doing simple food, but doing it with a lot of love. So when you eat it, how can you not be happy? Whenever I get to a place and I see people eating their meals very quietly, you know that it's all about the food. I don't know if it's my South Canara roots, but each time I return to this part of Karnataka, there's always a special sort of feeling that is hard to describe. Delicious from the heart, the sort of food that warms your soul. I think it's also the honesty. I had enough to feed at least 3 people and my bill was about 180 rupees or so. Hi folks, we've just stepped out for a breakfast shoot here in Mangalore. So yesterday what happened was that because we couldn't shoot at Bhatkal, then we found our way to Mangalore and we shot at a very interesting place, which is originally a fruit shop that goes back 90 years. But then they also do some very interesting things with eggs. So that's what we shot last evening. It's definitely going to be an interesting episode that you should look out for. It's called Appu Shet shop here in Mangalore, in an area called Kodialbail, I think. So this morning we are off to breakfast in Mangalore itself, and this is a place that I've never been to, but it's been around for a long time. It's called Hotel Ayodhya. So I'm looking forward to some South Canara style breakfast here. Yesterday we had a very good breakfast at Hotel Lata in Kota. So I'm looking forward to hopefully an encore of a good South Indian, South Canara style breakfast. So that's a good thing about places like Mangalore, because everything is usually in the heart of town. So it's very easy to navigate, find your way without really spending too much time in traffic. Of course, the city is evolved and you have large malls like the one that you see here. But I think at the heart of it, the city still retains its old world charm, especially when you see some of the old houses, and the look may be modern, but I think at the heart of it, the people in Mangalore hold on to their good old values, which is nice. That's the feeling that you get when you interact with people. They also say that you can leave Kudla, but you cannot take Kudla out of you if you are somebody who has spent a considerable amount of time here. Hotel Ayodhya. What do you want to eat? What do you want?
The same platter you ate.
Same platter that I ate.
Yeah.
I am the one supposed to be reviewing the food. So now you know why he keeps quiet when he's shooting me. Yeah, tell him. Kutkoli. So I just finished this brilliant breakfast here at Hotel Sri Rama Bhavan at Hotel Ayodhya in Mangalore. So if you are here, definitely some place to check out, and the team's of course sitting down for their breakfast. You have to order tagoltera. And these are just some of the things that we tasted. I tasted the nahi appam, I tasted the chattambade, I tasted the goli bhaji, and a few other things which are not here at this point. But what's really nice is that most of the dishes that you taste here are the sort that really take you back. These are dishes that you would find only in houses and you don't find them anymore. I also tasted this. That's an idli that is interestingly made of cucumber. So this should be an interesting episode. You should certainly look out for this episode on Food Lovers TV. The ripe pungent sweetness of the jackfruit.
Banana pudi, rice pundi.
Rice pundi. You know what I like is that all the things that I'm seeing here are the things that you don't get everywhere. So these are very traditional South Canara treats. Jackfruit and jaggery halwa.
Yes.
The moment you place that tekkere idli in your mouth, what hits you and what stays constant throughout is the delicate whiff of the cucumber flavor. Those are some more of the dishes that I tasted. Very interesting. Nawab of sort made of jackfruit. Then you've got the patrode. Mensenkai.
Yes.
Then the patoli that I tasted and the sanna polan, the sanna dosa. When I came in, I didn't know what to expect because I'd never been here before. But then as I was tasting the dishes, you see, it's very difficult actually to hold on to these sort of traditions because, these are not dishes that are typically made. So I guess the skills in terms of you have cooks who've been with them for years, so I guess they're able to make it. And it's very easy to lose tradition, but very difficult to preserve it. This is a nice thing that I love about shooting gourmet on the road. So many times I will step out not knowing what to expect. I wouldn't have gone there. I know nobody there, so I just walk in there with the camera. And then as you go in, you meet people who want to share with you what they're doing, what is interesting, etc. And you make such wonderful discoveries. I think Gourmet on the Road as a show has also allowed me to discover so much that is there in our culinary traditions, in our history. If not for places like these, they would easily get lost. If you lose these culinary jewels, it would be a terrible travesty. Well, after breakfast, we are now on our way to Padubidri, and this is about, I think, 25-30 kilometers from Mangalore. So this is a seafood restaurant that I've heard of. I get recommendations once in a while on this place. Open unda? Well, we are at Sannidhi Fish Park. I don't know what to expect, but we'll find out pretty soon. Well, I stepped into what I didn't know was a 100-year-old house. They have a courtyard in the back, which is where they have some tables placed, some chairs placed. So you enter through an old ancient door. Look at those pillars, look at those beams. So even when you enter these homes, you basically would bend a bit as a mark of respect while entering the house. They have a room here and the kitchen. Of course, you'll see more of what's happening in the video. Sometimes you don't really know what you're in for. And to me, this is the best part of doing Gourmet on the Road. I make so many discoveries while I'm out there filming. Courtyard at the back, it's allowed to run wild. It's not a typical manicured garden that we expect in cities, but this is rustic. This is nature as is, organic. There's some roof sheets that have fallen down. There's some wood there. There's weeds growing abundantly. There's this mango tree, coconut tree. Iದೇನು ಮರ ಇದು? ನೂರೆಕಾಯಿ. Okay, soap nut. Soap nut. Anda, ready anda? Okay. My lunch is ready. So stay tuned for this episode. Should be interesting. So this is a typical Mangalorean kitchen setup. These are the ingredients that you'll always find. Is mean curry? There's some boiled rice there and beans. White rice kuda undu. Idan tenginkai enne. I love the aroma. The kane. This is a good specimen of a kane. Chanagide. This is a kane that's quite meaty. I can see that masala in there. That curry is quite rustic and punchy. I think the cook has done a good job with that rava coating. It's just enough to cover the fish, aided by the masala, but not so much that it obliterates its flavors. Okay, thank you. See you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Ollidagli. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Good luck. God bless. Back to Mangalore. Okay, Vinay. See you. Thank you. So the person, once I finished my meal, he said, you've been to all these hotels, all these places. Which one did you like the best? I said, I don't really compare one with the other, because if you do that, then you will constantly be comparing and you will not appreciate what that place is about. So, it's about appreciating it for what it tries to be and what it can be. Everything cannot be everything. I don't know if it makes sense to you. But yeah, so you appreciate it for whatever it's trying to be. I think whenever you try and compare too often, then you're constantly comparing then there's no... It happens to me even once in a while. The other day I was, as you know, I spent some time in Amritsar, so I tasted a great Amritsari kulcha there. That too, not on the streets of Amritsar, but in the hotel that I was staying in Amritsar. And the other day I was at the staycation at the Leela, and you should check out that vlog if you haven't caught it yet. And they did a nice Amritsari kulcha there. As I was eating it, I was like comparing it to that Amritsari kulcha, which was wrong actually on my part to do, because it's completely different. The wheat is different, the water is different, the hands that make it are different. So how can it be the same? So therefore, it's always best to try and understand and appreciate what that dish is trying to be, what the people behind the eatery are trying to do, and what it is that they can do, and then appreciate them on the basis of that. If you like it, you will return to it. If you didn't appreciate it as much, you will not. End of story. Next time 29 kilometers, 33 minutes. So 29 kilometers to Mangalore. Maybe we'll just rest for about an hour or so and then step out for the evening. And try and make it an early evening today, because tomorrow we will drive back to Bengaluru. Well, we are shooting here at Hotel Woodlands, and we are capturing the making of the iconic goli bhaji. ನೀವು ಮಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಗೋಳಿ ಬಜ್ಜಿ ತಿನ್ನಬೇಕಿದ್ದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಬರಲೇಬೇಕು. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೌ ಗುಡ್ ದಟ್ ಗೋಳಿ ಬಜ್ಜಿ ಇಸ್. It's got that perfect roundness. It's getting that perfect golden color. This is definitely an episode that you should look out for. There's some masala dosa happening there. This is the hittu for the special dosa. Special. I also like the color of the palya. There's nice turmeric that's gone into that. I love shooting in kitchens. It's nice to see that food come alive. It's nice to see how the food comes together. There's so much of effort that goes into it. We don't realize it when we're eating it. But Hinde Bandhu, when you speak to him, he's been making the goli bhaji for the last 25 years. Mr. Bhatt's family has been tending to this legacy for the last 60 years. So there's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes, and that's why when I go to an eatery, I always like to meet the family. I like to meet the people behind it and understand what goes into the making of these dishes. We know these are iconic dishes, but why are those dishes so iconic? That's important for us to appreciate as well. The dedication of the family behind this legacy, and also the dedication of the people who've been working here for decades. Oh, I love the way that goli bhaji is a perfect round. It's getting that lovely golden sort of a sheen to it. They say this is the gold of Mangaluru. Goli bhaji. Mangaluru the chinna idu. That goli bhaji has a delicate, slightly crunchy skin, and on the inside it's both fluffy and stretchy in terms of its texture.
Banana podi.
Oh, bidta idira? Okay. Oh, the banana podi. That batter was crunch, crunch, crunch. Happiness here in Mangalore at 6 p.m. Well, just finished with our snack, our tiffin here at Woodlands Hotel. Enjoyed the goli bache, balehandu pudding, and also a sweet. If you know what this sweet is, let me know in the comments below. The boys are eating, and after which we will head out to another place, perhaps do our last shoot before we leave the city. I love the old vibe of this place. Stepping into this place is like stepping into a time machine of sorts. You instantly get transported back to perhaps the 70s. Banistered stairways, dining alcoves, semi-private dining rooms, and plenty of dosas going out. All of Mangalore seems to be here. Even the last time around when I came here, it was absolutely packed. And I guess a space like this is a luxury now in the heart of town. So they have a hotel there, I think with about 30 odd rooms. And this of course is the eatery. Perhaps some more rooms on top. The restaurant down below, and I'm told at the back they have an exhibition wedding hall sort of a space. Nearly 2 acres of space in the heart of Mangalore. Fantastic. ನಿನ್ನೆ ನಾವು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೇವಲ್ಲ ಜಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ finish our rendezvous with Woodlands Hotel. Now we are on our way to some other place that we saw yesterday, and I want to go and take a look at what's happening there. As you know, we also have an initiative where we support small businesses. So I've got some light now so you can at least see me. So we're going to go and check out this place that we had visited 2.5 years ago when we came to Mangalore to film the debut series of Gourmet on the Road. So there was this food truck run by this lady, and she had been through very tough circumstances, and she was running this food truck with her brother. So the owner of Hallimane Roti, Shilpa, she's right here. She's the one who's cooking the rotis. Let's go and find out from her what it is that makes Hallimane rotis so special. Namaskara, Shilpa. So how long have you been making?
Sir, actually 2015 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. 4 years ಆಯಿತು. ಬಟ್ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಓನ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟಾಗಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತು ಮ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ದಿರೋ ಫುಡ್ನ ನಾನು ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ನನ್ನ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇತ್ತು.
Yes, yesterday as we were driving, I saw the food truck and I recognized the name, and I stopped by just to check what was happening, and then I learned that she's going through a tough phase again where she has some health issues and she's unable to come to the food truck, so she cooks at home, sends the food with her brother and her father, who then tend to the customers. So when I inquired, I learned that they were going through a tough time currently. So we will try and see if we can do something for them. So we just finished our shoot here at Hallimane Rottis, which is that truck that you see back there. The food is absolutely delicious. It's home style Malnad food. So the family behind it has moved from Hassan 17-18 years ago, and they're now natives of Mangalore. And they've gone through a tough time to put this together. When I met them 3 years ago, they told me the story. And now the sister, who was the main backbone of the enterprise, has been very unwell for the last couple of years, or has been suffering some back issue for the last couple of years, and so she's unable to come to the truck. So it's her brother and her father who manage the show. They cook the food at home and then they bring it here and they serve it. So we just thought we'd do an episode, a small short episode, just to support them and just to spread the word on the work that they're doing here. So I finished dinner, the team is eating dinner now, and we'll leave shortly. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ? Thank you. ನೀವು ಮಂಗಳೂರಿಂದ? Okay. Nice to meet you. Walk ಹೋಗುದಾ? Okay. Enjoy your walk. See you. Bye-bye. Always nice to meet food lovers wherever you go. Food brings people together. Food makes people happy. Small, tiny establishment like this is doing simple food but doing it with a lot of love. So when you eat it, how can you not be happy? So basically, don't go by the fact that this is a food truck on a street somewhere. The food is cooked at home. And then that soft akki roti. That chicken is absolutely tender and juicy. ಸೊ ಫುಡ್ ಟ್ರಕ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ?
ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋಕಲಿಟ್ಸ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಜನ ನಮ್ಮದ ಆದ ನಂತರ ತುಂಬ ಇದೇ ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ತುಂಬ ಜನ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ, ಲೇಬರ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಮೇನ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಲೇಬರ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೇ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ,
ನಾವೇ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ವರ್ಕೌಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ತುಂಬ ಮೊದಲನಾಗೆ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. ಬಟ್ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಈಗ ನಾವೇ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಅದು ಅಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಬರ್ಡನ್ ಅನ್ಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ರೋಡ್ ವರ್ಕು ಅದು ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರುವಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಸ್ಟು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಲೈವ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ತವಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಡಸ್ಟ್ ಉಳಿತದೆ.
ನಾನು ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗೋ ನಿಂತೆ.
ಓಕೆ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ತುಂಬ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗ್ತದೆ ನಿಮ್ಮದು.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಫಾಲೋವರ್ಸ್.
ನೋಡಿ, ಊಟ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಊಟ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದಲ್ಲ,
ಅಲ್ಲ, ತುಂಬ ಜನ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ತುಂಬ ಲೈಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಂತೂ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಫಾಲೋವರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ.
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ತಮಿಳ್ನಾಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ,
ದೇವರದು ದಯ ಅದು. ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ hallimane roti quick supper, we are now winding up a Mangalore tour with a juice at this place that we went to last evening to shoot an episode of Gourmet on the Road. We love the juices there, so we're returning to savor some more juice and fruit there. It's an establishment that goes back 90 years. So yesterday what happened was we went there were many people that we met, and we were busy, so it was almost like standing on the street and shooting, so I couldn't really take the GoPro out to share any footage with you. So the matter of coincidence, we're returning there. Hello. ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಶಿಲ್ಪಾ, ನಾವು ಬರೀ ಒಂದು 15-20 ನಿಮಿಷಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತೇವೆ ನಾಳೆ. ಬರೀ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಧ ಕಪ್ ಕಾಫಿ ಕುಡಿತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿರಿ. ನೀವು ಯಾಕೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಸಹ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬರ್ತೇವೆ, 100% ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. ಮಾತ್ರ ನೀವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ತೊಂದರೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಡಿರಿ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನನಗೆ ಬೇಸರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬರೀ ಕಾಫಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಬೇರೆ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಕಾಫಿ 2 ಮಾತು. So when we went to hallimane rottis, so the sister is unwell and so she's at home with her son and her mother. So they want us to meet them, so we're going to probably drop in there for a quick coffee tomorrow morning. And here we are at Sri Mahalsa Appu Shet shop where we shot the episode yesterday. So this is a fruit shop, juice shop and egg shop.
Yes, egg shop.
Something called a stumbler.
Egg stumbler.
ಅದಂದ್ರೆ ಸುಮಾರು ವೆರೈಟಿ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಂಬಲ್ಡ್.
So ಸೊ ಅದು ನಮ್ದು ಮಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಉಕ್ಕರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಆ ಥರವ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ? So what you're really tasting is a interesting blend of textures. Oh, I love this egg roll. So ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ ಏನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ರೈಪ್ ಇದೆ ಅದ್ರ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಡೈಲಿ ಫ್ರೆಶ್? I think that's a very clever idea. He's selling these fruits anyway. He knows when they are at their prime, and at that point he makes a juice of them. Namaskara sir. ನಿಂದು ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕುಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪುನಃ ಬಂದೆ ನಾನು. ಹಲೋ, ಏನು ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್ ಇವತ್ತು? ಸೀತಾಫಲ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಸೀತಾಫಲ್ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. I would taste some of the juices that I didn't taste yesterday. ಸೀತಾಫಲ್ ಬೇರೆ ಏನಿದೆ?
musk melon, bottom horlicks and bonda juice.
Bonda juice, bonda lime. Start ನಾನು ಸೀತಾಫಲಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. Nitin, what do you want? ಸೀತಾಫಲ್ is got. ಓಕೆ, ಒಂದು ಸೀತಾಫಲ್, ಒಂದು ಮಸ್ಕ್ ಮೆಲನ್. ವೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಗುಣಶೇಖರ್? ಮಸ್ಕ್ ಮೆಲನ್ ಕೊಡಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ. That is a thick Sitafal juice, Sitafal shake, because it's the Sitafal pulp and the milk. I can taste a grainy bite of the Sitafal. So what's interesting about this fruit shop is that they also do some eggs at the back, and we tasted some of them yesterday. Two very unique egg creations here. So this is a fruit shop that goes back 90 years. I'm not going to tell you more because then it will be taking away from the episode. In fact, this whole exercise of doing this BTS vlog has been a little strange for me because I'm trying to, in my mind, say, okay, fine, what should I speak to you on the vlog here that I will not give away too much from the episode. I don't want to dilute the episode in a manner of speaking, but still present to you a behind the scenes sort of perspective. Hello.
Hi, man.
What's your name?
Sanvi.
Sanvi, it's a very nice name. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
See you. So I think that's our last shot here of the vlog in Mangalore. I think tomorrow we will meet when we are on our way out of Mangalore. ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಎಲ್ಲ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
4 ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ, 2 ಮಸ್ಕ್ ಮೆಲನ್, 2 ಸೀತಾಫಲ.
ಹಾಂ,
ಎಸ್. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಉಂಟು.
ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್. ಸಿ ಯು, ಬಾಯ್. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ಮನೆ ಥರ. ಬಟ್ ದೆನ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ದಟ್ ದೇ ಡೂ
ಸರ್ ಮನೆ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮನೆದೇ.
ಮನೆದೇ, ಹಾಂ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಮುಂಚಿಂದ ಈಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇದೆ
ಸರ್? ಒಂದು 25%.
That's all.
ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಉಳಿತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವು ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
We left Mangalore this morning, so as we drive to Bengaluru now, we will stop somewhere for a meal. I don't really have an agenda for a shoot as such, but if we stop somewhere and we find something interesting, maybe perhaps. I had a vegetarian meal in mind at one of my favorite restaurants on the Asan Bengaluru highway, which is Swati Delicacy. So they do a nice South Indian veg thali. But I think it will be very late by the time we reach there. So we may have to stop somewhere else for lunch before that. So that's what a typical shoot is like. Most of it is planned, but then we also allow some space to do things that are unplanned. And we did a shoot last night at hallimane rottis, and that was completely unplanned. And as I spoke to you about earlier, and what we did was this morning on our way out of Mangalore, we just stopped by at their home just to meet the sister and her mother, just to, you know, lend some words of support, encouragement, and hear them out in terms of the challenges that they're facing, just so that we can convey that to all of you watching out there. I think as a platform, Food Lovers TV is not just about showcasing great food. That is there, of course, but I think it also helps connect people together, and who knows what the possibilities could be. For now, we are meandering through some back lanes here, somewhere in the outskirts of Mangalore. I think we are trying to find our way to Bantwal crossroad before we ascend towards Charmadi. So we've just crossed the Ghats, Charmadi, we crossed Kotigayara, and we're on our way towards Mudigere. It's about 1 in the afternoon, and I just thought we should probably stop for a spot of lunch. So we're going completely blind. There's this restaurant that I picked up on Google, which is called Karavli Fishland Veg and Non-Veg. So don't know what it's going to be like, but it's not very far from here, just about 6 minutes or so. Place seems to be rather promising. It's a tiny little hole in the wall, not literally speaking, but just the energy, the vibe of this place. This is what I really love when we are on the road, shooting gourmet on the road, just to stumble upon places like these. I haven't tasted the food yet, but just the vibe, the atmosphere. So it's a family, husband, wife, and their extended family behind this enterprise here. There's no other workers. So it's got that very homely sort of atmosphere. From the outside, it looks like nothing really. So that's the street down there, and this is the place here. I think all that one needs to have is an open mind. So you will discover interesting places. The regular birthday. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆಯಾ? Super ಇದೆ. The locals tell you super ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. And I think everybody behind me seems to be a local out here. Just finished lunch here, and I must say I was quite happy with what I tasted. I think it's nice to once in a while stumble upon these tiny places that are almost hidden away. So it's only the locals who know of them and no one else. But I really enjoyed the meal here. In fact, you will see it in an upcoming episode either on Food Lovers TV or the Kripal Amanna channel. I hope you subscribe to both the channels because we do a lot of food also on the Kripal Amanna channel. So once the boys finish lunch, then we will be off, drive towards Bengaluru. Maybe stop for coffee along the way somewhere. Thank you. I'm quite enjoying this drink. This is a ragi ambli. So basically ragi powder that's dissolved into some hot water with some salt. It's like an earthy ganji. If you haven't tasted it, just to help you understand what this would taste like, picturize rice starch, the teli ganji, but a slightly thicker, earthier tasting version. That's what this ragi ambli, this finger millet ambli is. It's also a little more than warm, close to hot. So as it goes down your throat, it also warms your throat. So moral of the story from this particular excursion, always be open to possibilities. You never know what you might discover. Like we have here at Mudigere.